So welcome everyone. Welcome to this life transformation webinar. And I hope all of you have your dinner already, or have your food, have your coffee or whatever. Okay, let's look at this life transformation. It's not a one-time thing. Okay, it is a journey. It involves going beyond the way you live now and also creating a better future for yourself and your loved ones. So it's like co-creating what you truly desire and also living the life, your life to the fullest. And this journey, it starts with expanding our consciousness and also taking charge of our life. So a lot of people is like, we let life go by and then we just let life pass us by. Okay, and that's when at some point we'll start to feel uncomfortable. At some point we start to feel frustrated as well. So that's where we feel lost, and then we find like life is just so unfulfilling. And also it may come to a time where we start to feel we don't like ourselves, we're angry with ourselves. Okay, how many of you feel that? If you feel that, type a 0 for me so that I know how many of you are like me before. So, right, I believe all of you here today are students of Chinese metaphysics. So regardless of what level you are in, I'm sure you would have benefited from these tools. Okay, like being it BaZi, being it Qi and date selection or Fung Shui. So how have you all been using these tools? Have you all been able to achieve sustainable results? Or was it just a temporary victory? If you have been able to get sustainable and consistent result, type a C. If you feel that when you apply these tools, when you use these tools, you're only getting temporary result, type a T. So that I know it's like who I'm talking to, what kind of audience are there. Okay. So you see, change does not happen overnight. So you all can keep typing, okay, while I talk. So people are afraid of change. And this is human nature. We fear stepping out of our comfort zone into the unknown. And also, some actually attempted to transform in a very short time, and they actually made it. But only 20% of them could sustain the momentum, while the rest actually gradually fall back into their old self. For me personally, I've had many attempts in transformation. Okay, I've had few coaches in my life as well that helps me to improve, to transform, and so on. I made it, but then I gradually returned to my old self, and I realized I have to restart all over again. So finally, in 2019, I discovered a sustainable method. And the secret is making small adjustments. We track our progress and also allow time to shape us. Because previously when I heard of life transformation, I got so excited and I signed up for programs. I got a coach, and I was just too eager to make it big, to make a big change. Okay, I made it in that short time frame, but then I realized that after the whole program is over, I couldn't sustain. And over the years, I fall back. Okay, I fall back into my old self. I lose momentum, right? So I had I would say a few curves in my life of transformation. And let me share with you my journey, my transformation. So it has been challenging for me to to extract photos of myself because I've always shy away from camera, but I managed to get this, right? So in 2015, this is when my corporate career is at peak, right? Really traveling a lot, traveling around not only Southeast Asia, but to Europe as well, and also Australia. And then in 2017, I built a regional team in Malaysia. So I was leading a regional team. But then I wasn't happy in life. Okay, something just seems to be missing. I have a lot of work, and then I have people reporting into me as well. Then I was also coaching like the seniors as well, and so on. And finally, in 2019, I left the corporate scene, and I started a printing business with a friend, but it didn't work out well. Okay, as I didn't have the skills, and I was so drained out when I was in that business. But the thing is this, when I plunged into starting the business with my partner, I didn't really go into understanding like what it takes and so on. I didn't do my homework. Okay, I had the wrong expectation, and I thought it was just as simple as how my partner had put it. Just put in the money, you hire people, and the business will run. And our premise at that time was located right opposite a college. So students will need to print. They have many things to print. That was the picture that was painted to me. So I was so excited. I say, oh yeah, cool. It's like I finally can take a break from all this corporate madness and so on. And I just jumped in. But in reality, there was a lot of things that we as business owners need to do. So in this business, I need to understand the industry. I need to understand my customer segment. What are their real needs? I have to find suppliers for papers and materials. I also need to learn is that what kind of paper is for what kind of printing. There are different sizes of paper, different thickness, different texture, different porosity, finishing, and wow, there's just a whole long list. So I was overwhelmed then. So I need to learn how to handle this paper. How do I store them? How do I cut them and so on? Okay, and I had to set up the computers and printers and also put them in a network in the premise as the printer suppliers, they don't do it. Neither do they have the skills to do it, but they are very good in operating the printer as a standalone. And then come the computer guy, okay, who didn't know how to connect and set up the printers to utilize the features. So they know how to connect to the printer, press the print button, and it prints. That's it. So they didn't know how to set it up in a way where I can actually control the color adjustment and also control from a master computer into the different computers that are set up for the students to do their printing. So I was like scratching my head all over. And then we just have to resort to a lot of manual workarounds until I figure out how to connect all these gadgets together. And in addition, during that time, I have to learn how to do business, okay, how to bring in business and how to manage the operations at the premise with all these technical challenges. And also I have to train staff. Okay, I have to train them on things that I'm just learning. So it has been a very steep learning curve for me. And I bet you all can see it through my face, right? In 2019, look at how I look at that time, it's so haggard. It's like, oh, now I look back at that photo. Okay, so I decided I can't live life, okay, in that way. So I need to change. This was the time where I took my life transformation seriously. This was the time where I took charge of my life instead of depending on a coach to come and push me and kick my butt and so on. Okay, so I redirected the focus internally to myself. So I diversify myself instead of my business. I took up graphic designing and I completed a couple of projects with clients at that time. So this was how I brought business in, because the students that we were targeting, they were all design students, so they don't print black and white. Okay, they need quality printing and they need special materials to print on. And sometimes when they come in to print, they will load their file onto the computer and then they will ask us, how do I print it this way and that way? So I thought it's like, in order to just, instead of just let them come in and do whatever, and they are also caught because no one is there to help them, I took the initiative and I learned graphic designing. So I learned a bit of things here and there. I learned the colors and so on. So I could value add to them and I guide them, but it was hell stiff learning for me. Okay. And but that paid off for me, because at the same time, I also took up a few projects with the clients where I actually designed for them. And I did a designing for one of the booths in the MACOP exhibition, the trade show. I also did like OEM product packaging. Is that I didn't know I could do it. Okay, but I gave it a try. I plunged in. This was also the year where I experienced very intense spiritual awakening moments. So I'm sure a lot of you have heard about spiritual awakening, right? So if you get into an involuntary spiritual awakening moment, it can be very painful because a lot of things will come like it hit you left and right. So during that period, I was having nightmare every night. I just don't know why. Okay? Every morning I wake up with a wet pillow and I know I cried. And I practically cried because my pillow was wet. So every night in my dream, my childhood seems to be playing back to me. Okay, every night is like there are some scenes in my childhood that comes into my dream. Then somehow, sometimes I get to kind of go back to the house that I grew up with, my grandparents' house, and it's empty. Okay, and it was really scary. So then I pay attention to my dreams and I start to seek answer from within. That is what's going on with me. Okay, what is wrong? It's like why is it that I always have all these dreams that suddenly come now? Okay, every night nonstop. So it's like I knew there's something which I need to address. It's my childhood, my past, which I need to accept. Okay, because it's bringing a lot of pain for me. Then, so after my business failed, there was a big loss for me. And I returned back to the corporate world. So I took up some contract work with PwC. And then COVID came in and it was like, it became really serious at that time on the COVID with all the lockdowns and so on. And my contract was suspended until further notice. So that's when I started BaZi Journey on Facebook. So this is where I bring my hidden passion to the front. Okay, where previously I've only been doing from the back end, play based on clients who is recommended by friends, and friends is just word of mouth. Okay, practically even my family members doesn't know that I was doing it. Okay, only one or two of my close friends know that I'm into metaphysics. Most of them they don't know. So when they found out that I actually knew metaphysics and they found out about BaZi Journey, they were all laughing at me. They say, "Hiya, corporate woman becomes sanpo." In Cantonese, sanpo means, those prayer lady, those that go ding, 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 right? Then I told them, no, that's not what I do. Okay, that's not how I use Chinese metaphysics. So I look at it from life perspective and I very much focus on life transformation. Then I have some friends who are Chinese educated. They say, "Oh no, you can't do that. No, it's against the universe where you want to change someone's destiny." I say, "No, I'm not changing people's destiny, and we can't change that. It's more about adjusting our mindset, okay, and it's living our destiny. It's not changing." All right. So, my Chinese friends out there, don't get it wrong. We are not changing destiny. Life transformation is about changing your mindset, adjusting your behavior, and also your perspective to life, to create a better future, to create a better life, and also to allow yourself to live life to the fullest. Okay. So when I started BaZi Journey, I actually didn't know how to use Facebook. And I wasn't familiar with social media platforms. I did know how to connect with strangers. I did know how to write non-corporate materials. And I didn't know how to use Zoom, not to mention to conduct live webinars like this, okay? But I took the leap. I took the leap. I know I need to do it. I need to do something for myself. I need to take charge of my life. I plunged in, so I was learning along the way where I was doing it. Okay, and that actually propelled me forward. And I would say from then, my transformation actually went exponential. Okay, so 2021, here I am today, and I can't be happier now. So I found my humor in life and my true self. And I'm actually very curious at heart. I must say that inside me, there is a big kid. Okay. So I don't know how many of you know how old I am or how young I am. I'm actually 48, but I'm still a curious kid inside. And let me share with you some behind the scene photo that I took. Okay, that's when I'm warming up before my life lessons. Okay, so when I started to do FB Live, I was pretty much very tense, very, very excited. It's like my body will be shivering. So I learned this trick. 10 minutes before, I would say half an hour before my live, okay, I would listen to Uptown Funk by Bruno Mars. And I slowly dance to the tune, and then I start to take all these funny photos to help myself relax. And then I'll send these photos to my kids. And then they will comment, they will laugh, and that kind of helped me to relax. So you can see I do have a big kid in myself. Okay, although it's like when you see my post, when you attend my webinar, I sound very serious. Because this is the nature that I've grown up with, being in a corporate for so many years. And also as a child, I've been taught to be prim and proper. Okay, so now it's like my next phase of my transformation, I need to let this child inside out. Because I know when I'm comfortable letting it out, that will be my true self. And I know I'll be very happy with that. So this is where the next step of my breakthrough. Okay. So this backdrop over here, it represents my journey ahead. Okay, my journey ahead is infinite. And if you're seeing me for the first time now, I'm Nelly, you can call me Nell. So I've been studying metaphysics since 2012 from JY Academy. And in additional to that, I also learned Chinese metaphysics from a few other masters, okay? So my journey started as a self-help. And then since I've been also helping other people along. And now I'm conducting Bazi and Qigong classes, and I do consultations as well, but my main focus is life transformation, okay? Because that's where I find the most effective application of Chinese metaphysics. So let's talk about the strategy. Since today I promise you all, I'm going to share with your strategies and how to apply Chinese metaphysics too, okay, for yourself, right, into your life and so on. So I'm sure all of you would have heard of Sun Tzu strategy, right? And everything we talk about strategy, you will have this word tagged to it, right? And it's very well known for application at war and business. But do you know that you can also apply this strategy to our life as well? So are you aware that we are constantly at war? Okay, it's a never-ending civil war with ourselves. And as the saying goes, you are your worst enemy. Okay, and Sun Tzu has it, if you know your enemy, which in this case is ourselves, then we don't need to fear the results in our life. So we don't need to fear the results of 100 battles. Okay, every battle is just another battle, and we shouldn't be fearful about it. So nowadays, we are very blessed with generous sharing of information, with good dates and activations by so many good Samaritans out there. And it's all available at our disposal. So how have you been using this information? Okay, Sun Tzu also say, all men can see these tactics, but the essence lies in the strategy where victory evolved. Okay, it's just like tactics without strategy is the noise before the defeat. Okay, so how can we use it? Right, we talk about strategy, and then Chinese metaphysics is like, oh, just two totally different things, just like chicken and duck pot, right? But when you understand deeper into this Sun Tzu strategy, the 36 stratagems, and also the different tools of Chinese metaphysics, then you can find that link. So let me share with you how I linked it and how I see it, okay? So commonly we all know destiny reading, we have BaZi and Shimen, right? So it starts by knowing yourself. That's through your destiny reading, knowing your strength, knowing your weakness. So BaZi, it actually states the obvious to you. While Shimen destiny, it reveals your subconscious. And it tells a lot about how your mind works. Okay, as Sun Tzu puts it, correct your mistake as soon as you have found it, right? So next one, this is BaZi and Shimen, right? So there are also many great sharing and forecasts for the year, for the month. So this information actually gives us a glimpse of what's coming up next. And it allows us to occupy the tenable ground and to attack on fatal ground. Wow, sounds so high. So what it actually means is just, you need to know where are your advantages, okay? Where are the safer ground, okay? Where are the danger is. So as Sun Tzu puts it, on both difficult and easy terrain, you must know the tenable and fatal ground. Just like you know what are the good energies, you also need to know what are the negative energies that's going to affect you. How many of you are Fire Day Masters over here? If you are Fire Day Master, can you type a F so that I know how many Fire Day Masters I'm addressing? None? Okay, if none, then I'm not going to talk about fire. So I have one. Do I have more? No, only one. So, all right. Now, 2022 is a water tiger year, and we know water counters fire. Okay, so next year, if a day master is fire, you need to expect that there'll be opposing energy that's coming onto you. So expect stress, expect a lot of things that is going to pose us a challenge. Okay, and that's why this makes it more crucial for us to understand our terrain and have a strategy to take on 2022, because 2022 it's going to be a very competitive year. Okay, it holds a lot of aggressive energy. So and we don't want to be held back, okay, by the aggressiveness. What we want to do is we want to ride on it so that we can get good outcomes, we can achieve our goals, and so on, right? So over here, the timings. So if you know when you should play defense and when you should be fighting, just meaning riding on the energy, like you get to do the right things at the right time. So this is when knowing how the energy affects you through your BaZi and your Shimen, and also selecting the dates and timing will give you that extra advantage. So this is where we can look at our BaZi, okay, overlay it with the year, your luck pillar, and also maybe with the month to find out it's like how this energy are affecting us from externally inside. And then from there, based on what we want to achieve, what are our goals, we can actually look into the dates. Look at the dates that will give us that added advantage, okay, to achieve what we want in that particular month or in that particular year. Okay. And the next one, you have heard about Fung Shui and so on. So in Chinese, we always say, 一命二運三風水. It means it's like the first comes your destiny, second comes your luck, then third is Feng Shui. So Feng Shui only plays about 20% in our life, because this is an external energy that gives us a boost. But if you don't know how to leverage on that energy, no matter how many good energy you activate, you won't see that efficient progress or the effect. Okay, so that's why we always need to start with understanding ourselves, what we have, what are our strengths, weakness, what are the areas which we need to improve or we need to correct and adjust. Then only we can leverage on all this external energy. Okay, so here we are looking at, increasing our chances through utilizing the flying stars and also the Qimeng formations. Okay, like Sun Tzu puts it, okay, one defends when his strength is inadequate. So when you know that one, the energy is affecting you, and in yourself, your energy is not high. Okay, you're not vibrating at a higher level, and you feel that you're sinking down. That's when you need to go on a defense. But if you are vibrating on a higher level, that's when you can take on the energy and go for an attack. Okay. So let's look at some reasons that holds people back. So from change, okay, it always starts from habits. Humans have habits. We all have habits. And the other thing would be, that feeling of contentment, complacency, or in simple word, lazy. Okay, we want something, but we're just not ready to work for it. Okay, and the most prominent over here is being fear. The fear of rejection, the fear of judgment, the fear of disappointment, the fear of uncertainty, the fear of discomfort. But every change comes with discomfort. Change is not uncomfortable unless you make that your norm and you love it and you enjoy it, you enjoy the ride, okay, you enjoy the change, you enjoy to see how you're progressing, how you're overcoming every obstacle in life. Then you'll be able to turn this around to say, hey, bring it on. So from this perspective, all these reasons, these are the problems that we need to solve. And Chinese metaphysics can actually help us solve that. So imagine these problems is actually the civil war that we are fighting. Okay, and definitely we will need to approach it with a strategy. Okay, what is the first thing we want to do? What is the next thing? And how can we group all these problems that we have together so that we can fix one thing and then the rest get fixed cordially. Okay, and we can make use of this Chinese metaphysics too to help us gain victory over ourselves, like BaZi, Qimeng, the flying stars, and also date selection. These are tools. But what's next is the strategy, right? So let's look at a brief of a transformation strategy. When we talk about transformation strategy, it's like, wow, it sounds such a big and heavy topic. Actually, it's very simple. It's just the term of it, the jargon that is used that complicates things. So if you have been following my posts since beginning this year, then you would have read my post on the directional combination when I did that after sharing. So this is also called a three-harmony combination, where each forms a specific element frame. And let's look at how we can apply this as a strategy. So transformation, it brings us from point A to point B, and this is a evolving process. And this process involves gaining wisdom, means learning the skill and the knowledge that is lacking in you, taking charge, decide that you are going to practice and apply what you have learned, then unleash your potential. This is where you want to apply what you have learned, okay? Put it out there, put yourself to the test, and also track how you are progressing. And finally, it will be personal growth. Personal growth means look at how you're improving, assess your improvement area, assess the gaps that you need to fill in. It's like unlearn and relearn, okay? And then prepare yourself to learn new things so that you can get to the next level in your life. Then in my last webinar a few days ago, I shared the outlook of November. I also share the power dates and energy. And I also share how we can use these energies. What can we do with it? These are the achievement tactics. Okay, you have the dates, you know how to use it, you know what to do with it. But okay, we can also use these dates independently. There's specific things on the, oh, that's a good day today. Let's see what I can do. You can do it that way. Okay, or to be more efficient, we can build a strategy around these dates to achieve a breakthrough. So a breakthrough, the word again sounds big, right? Breakthrough may not need to be mega or big. A breakthrough is a state, okay, where you break out from your current state into a new state, means moving ahead, okay, and you need to have that consistent small breakthroughs that will lead to a major life breakthroughs. And as we get better with every small breakthroughs, we gain courage, okay, we gain confidence to do bigger things. So with this strategy, we are addressing the problem with the lack of courage, lacking of confidence, lacking momentum, because it kickstarts your momentum. When you achieve something, okay, that you never thought you have achieved, even the small things, it makes you happy, right? And it makes you feel like, hey, I can actually do more. So this is the essence, the reason why we want to make small changes consistently over time. So how many of you have heard of this term continuous improvement? If you have heard of it, type a 1 for me. If you have not heard of it, type a 0. Okay, interact with me. Interact with me. I don't want to be talking alone here. So cool. So you have heard of this term, continuous improvement. Again, this is another big term, okay, that sounds so confusing, that sounds so mega, right? And it is, again, it's a very simple routine. Okay, just like, you know, these guys need to make it big, okay, especially in corporate. Okay, corporate, we like to use a lot of big jargons so that we look big, we look great, right? But actually it's very simple. And this routine, it involves plan, do, check, learn, improve, and test. It's just simple 6 steps, right? First, you plan what you want to achieve, and then you take the action. Next, you need to check the results of your action. Okay, are you getting there? Are you getting what you want or not? Then if you are not getting what you want, what else you need to learn, okay, to fill in that knowledge gap, that skill gap? What are the other things that you need to gather, okay, in order to close that gap and get you to where you want, what you want to achieve? Then improve. Improve is like get feedback. Okay, again, you try things out, test it out, and see how much is working for you, how much is helping you to improve. And then, of course, you got to put yourself to the test, because if you don't test it, you won't know whether are you achieving things in the way you want, Are you going in the right direction? Okay, or do you have a different expectation? So this is the cycle of continuous improvement. So after you have put yourself up to the test and you have succeeded, this is where you go on to start the next cycle. Plan again what you want to do next. Okay, how else you want to improve. And it goes back into that cycle. So this cycle doesn't end. It never ends. And it should be a habit that we want to adopt. It should be a mindset where we want to continually improve ourselves so that we get better every day. Okay. And I shared a lot of dates, right, during my Thriving in November webinar. And this is how we can layer it over this continuous improvement framework. So it starts by wiring your mind. So it's like planning. Okay, you ask yourself, what is it that you want to change? What is not working with you? Okay, identify what are the actions that you need to take in order to step out from your shell. Then you want to test the water. Because the first time when we list out all the actions, we don't know whether it works or not, right? Then we do some small tests and see it's like, okay, are we getting results or are we getting like backfire? Then we can go back and observe, have we changed? What has changed? And how can we adjust? Then explore possibilities. Okay, explore what else. Okay, is there a different way of doing the same thing that can give you better outcome? And go out, get a support, learn from other people. Okay, get feedback, get mentors. Okay, learn more, unlearn, learn, and then put yourself to the test. Like now you have a more solid strategy. By the time you reach this improved stage, that's when you really want to put out all your actions and put yourself to the test. Test your limits. So when you test your limits, then you will start to find, okay, I still have gap in certain way. So certain part of my actions doesn't really jive with what I want. Okay, I was expecting result A, but instead now I'm getting result B. Still not that bad, but okay, I want to go back to, I really want to get result A. But maybe at this stage, you might find that when you're testing yourself, you'll find that, okay, you know what? Actually, result B is better for me, you know? Why haven't I thought about that? Okay, so, okay, now I'm going back to planning. Result A, put aside, I'm going for result B. So what are the actions that I need? How do I plan? Okay, how do I plan my lessons? How do I plan my learning? All in so that I can achieve result B. What are the skills that's missing? What are the adjustments that I need to make? So this is where you can use all these data and bundle it with a strategy. Okay? So if you don't already have a strategy on how you want to use these dates, so take this as your breakthrough starter kit. Okay? Identify what difference you want to make in November, the coming month. You have a few days to plan. Then plan the actions ahead. Okay, the dates over here, 6 November, 8 November, 14 November, 16 November, 22nd November, and 24th November. These are your boosters. These are the dates that will give you that extra, I would say, extra edge of winning. Okay, but it also means in between these dates, you still need to take action. Okay, you need to focus on preparing yourself, okay, for the next day. You need to look at, focus on what are the skills learning, maybe adjusting your mindset. When we do a mindset shift, when we want to change something, we always need to start with something small consistently over time. So over here, between 6 November and 8 November, there's a gap of 2 days, right? So on 6 November, once you have identified how you want to change, what are the changes you want to make, from 6 November onwards, when you've identified it, you need to take the step to make that small changes so that you get accustomed to these new actions, to these new things that you want to do. Then on the 8th of November, this is where you want to put it out there and test the water, right? Then after that, this is where you need to gather and see again between 8 November and 14 November, you will still need to continue doing your actions. Okay, and this time it's like you would have some results back from your test. So this is where you want to assess is like, okay, which of the action doesn't work? Okay, which is working and which are the areas which I can actually improve? And how has that made me change emotionally, psychologically? So am I ready to take on more? So this is 14 November is the day where you want to observe what has changed. Okay, how has all this brought you and how you are reacting to the change. Okay, then 16 November is the day where you want to explore possibilities. So between 14 November and 16 November, this is where you start to see, look at different things where you can do different options, different way or different approach of doing the same thing. Then 16 November, okay, really branch out and look and try it out and see whether does it work for you. Okay, and then also look out for more options, look out for more things, learn from other people, see how they do it. Okay, then 22nd November, this is a good day where you want to gather support. This is a good day where you want to get feedback, get mentor, get constructive feedback. Okay, so you can use this day to really look at how you can improve. Okay, you can also use this day to seek clarity within yourself. Okay, be your own mentor. Okay, then when it comes 24th November, between this day, as you learn, as you gather the feedback, as you start assessing what areas you need to improve further, what are things you need to adjust. So 24th November, put it all out and test again. So this is the whole strategy that can kickstart you for a breakthrough journey. Okay, so I've shared details of all the dates in my November webinar, except one day, which is 6th November, which I didn't share. And I just plugged it in today. Because initially it was 2nd November, and 2nd November is today. Okay, and I want all of you to be able to benefit from this strategy so that you all can kickstart your own transformation journey. So let's look at 6th November, look at the details and how we can use 6th November to rewire our mind. Okay, 6th November is an initiate day and it's a Saturday. So horse in the day can see it has a harm relationship with the year. So it means like if you have been following my posts and my sharing and so on, this is a misunderstanding harm. So this is a very good day if you focus on clarifying your doubts. Okay, you know there's going to be misunderstanding or maybe you don't understand certain things. So focus on clarifying it. Get yourself to the level where you can understand. Seek to understand before being understood, right? And then in the north sector, for the full day, we have flying bird fall into cave, which we can use to see how events unfold for us and also tap into the lessons that it brings. Okay, and this will help us to understand the situation, our situation, or what's going on in us better. Okay, see how things are playing out. And then assess from a third-party perspective. How are you being affected by it? Okay, what could you learn from it? Okay, you can also do a reflection back, okay, on your past. Okay, have you had how has your past circumstances play out on you? What are the lessons that you have learned or you should have learned? And now given a chance for you to go back to those situations, those scenarios, how would you do it differently? Okay, so for this day, there's 2 steps to make this day really fruitful for you. Step 1, it starts on the night of 5th November, which means it's the midnight of 6th November. It's between 12 a.m. to 12:59 a.m. And the intention here is to seek clarity from within. Okay, so back southwest, calm yourself down and start writing. Allow your mind to flow. Discover what is not right with your mindset. What is it that you don't like that it's going on that's bothering you? okay, and foster peace with yourself. Don't blame yourself for what has happened. It has already happened. Accept that this is you, your current self. Because when we do a transformation, we need to have a pivot point. And this is your pivot point. Accepting who you are, okay, accepting all your past, right? Then next is to look at what corrections or what improvement is needed. So with flying bird falling cave over here, it is very good to use to reflect on your past action. Like I've explained just now, to understand how these circumstances has played out on you and what have you learned. Is it really the circumstances that play you out, or was it your inability, okay, to handle the situation? Then in the same hour, we have green dragon in play here. So which means the energy during this hour will actually give you the outcome you want, provided you have the right intention and you put in the effort. Put in the effort to really think, to really dig deep into yourself. Okay. Then the next one would be the hour between 9 to 10:59 a.m. That is when you wake up. Okay, this is where you want to back north and define what happiness means to you. Okay, what bad habit that you have that you really don't like that is making you so unhappy. Okay, what are the things that that is not working out for you, that is causing you all this frustration, okay, making you feel unhappy, uncontented, unfulfilled. List all this out, okay? Because it's important to define our happiness index. Is that a lot of times we tend to chase for material things. We tend to chase for things which is external, which we thought will make us happy. But these are the things, it's because of us chasing. It's because of our addiction, okay, for all these external or material things that makes us unhappy. So this is where you got to ask yourself, are these the things that's making me unhappy? Do I really need all these material goods? Do I actually need all these external things to happen for me? Do I need to own all these external stuff, okay, to make me happy, right? So this is where you got to focus and seriously question yourself, what is happiness to you? Because sometimes it's like we are not aware that we already have what it takes to make us happy. We are not aware that we have enough to keep us happy. So use this hour to segregate what you need from what you want, okay? And step 3, within the same hour, step 3, this is where you want to back south and decide the change that you want to make on yourself. Write down what you want to change, what actions you will take. And you see, this is during this hour is a shifting from backing north to backing south, right? So do you know that a simple action like this, just by turning around and facing the opposite direction, it sends a message to our subconscious mind to change. So don't underestimate a simple action like this, because what we want to work with here is our subconscious mind. That's what we want to program. Okay, so sometimes, yeah, I'm sure a lot of you also would have heard of this technique called NLP, right? Neuro-lingual programming. And again, it's another big jargon out there that teach you all these techniques, you know, the affirmation and so on. So we don't need to be so sophisticated. Simple things, just simple actions like this, it will start to trigger our subconscious to think differently. Just a simple thing like, now I'm thinking about what is the thing that I don't like, okay, and how I define my happiness. Then now you want to change and you just switch. And now you look at and you start focusing on what you want to change. So that is already knocking your subconscious mind off and say, okay, now you need to change. Okay. So it's just like a lot of people ask me, okay, next year is going to be my Fan Yin year. So what do I do? And the Fan Yin is with my day master and so on. So it's very simple. Go change your hairstyle. Change how you look, change your outlook. Okay. And with that simple action, it actually triggers your mind. Okay. It triggers your behavior. It triggers all your internal function to start looking at change. All right. So transformation does not only stop here, it's an ongoing process. And for those of you who have attended my Writing the Tides 2022 webinar, you would have seen that the aggressive energy that's coming. And by the way, if you have missed the webinar, you can purchase a recording. So if you're interested, do message me. Okay, and I'll take that offline with you. All right. So let's look a bit more into how transformation works. So we have always been reading our parcel relationship in the context of destiny reading, and all these relationships are like how they affect the day master, how they affect person, the individual, and so on. Correct? But there are also other applications of this relationship. So for 2022, we can leverage on the 3 harmony combo frames as a strategy for actions. And this doesn't refer to your day master. You don't need to have this combo in your BaZi chart and so on. So you don't need to worry whether are this combination going to be auspicious for you, inauspicious for you, and so on. It's because this strategy, it's going to write on calendar months. Okay. And this cycle starts in December 2021, which is next month. Okay. And to give you a bit more preview into this transformation strategy for 2022, there are 3 sub-cycles, right? And the first cycle being December to March, it forms first cycle, and there's a milestone check in March. So if you look at this cycle, there is another mini cycle in it, right? Then in the next sub-cycle, we have between April to July. So this is the second cycle, and there's a milestone check in July. Then the last cycle of this 12 months transformation is in August to November. That's where it takes place. And we will have a milestone check in November. So if you see, beginning of each of this cycle, okay, it forms a water frame, right? And this refers to gaining wisdom. So for every sub-cycle, we start by gaining wisdom. And then we go on to the next one. So the second month, it forms a metal frame, and this is where we want to take charge. Okay, this is where we need to demand the responsibility from ourselves. Okay, and the third month in each of these sub-cycles, it forms a fire frame, and this is where we need to let our passion come out. Our passion speaks louder to unleash our potential. And finally, the fourth month in each of this cycle, this is where we want to take stock, okay, of how much we have progressed and how much we have achieved in the last 3 months. And we need to assess what are the areas which we need to improve further. Okay, what are the gaps, the knowledge gap, the skill gap, and start planning for the next sub-cycle. Okay, so in 2022, the months between May and July is very critical, because if you know 2022, it's a very cold month. It's a very cold year with a lot of water and wood as well. And there is still fire, but the fire is very dim. But amidst every winter, we still have plants growing, okay, beneath the earth. And this is what we call the germination of new life. That's where the fire lies, okay? So we see in 2022, the fire months comes in from May onwards. So this is where we really want to bring out our talents, okay, and go all out to prove our next state, to test what we have learned. Okay, put ourselves out there to see how much we can achieve. And this is also because in 2022, the months from August onwards, okay, the aggressive energy of 2022 will start to taper down, will start to be gentler on us, and that's where tension will start to ease up. Okay, and I believe you would have heard many practitioners out there are sharing that 2022 is a year for reset. Okay, so August is the month. Is the month for the reset, is that reset month. This is where you want to really kickstart a new life. And this is the last cycle of 12 months transformation. This is where we train ourselves to get into a consistent and constant mode, okay, to create that new norm for ourselves, to make it sustainable, right? So if you are interested, I have a 12 months group coaching programs coming up, and you can join me on this journey, all right? And do sign up. So I posted the registration link on my Facebook page 2 days ago on 31st of October, and I'll share the registration link later on my Telegram as well. So if you're wondering, what's in it for me? What is in this program for me? Let's dive in. Let's look at what I have lined up for this program. Okay, and it starts on the first week of December. This is where I need to get to know you on a personal level. So this is where I will have one-on-one Zoom session, okay, to help you discover yourself and also to start charting your journey ahead. And following that, you will receive a 1 year month-on-month, okay, what to expect in 2022, so that you can start to plan your actions, what you want to achieve in every cycle, okay? Then after that, third week of December onwards, this is where we will get together as a group, okay? We convene as a group, and I will go through the details, okay, of the strategy framework, as in what we need to prepare, what to expect, and how are we going to track our progress. And then following on, there will be monthly strategy and tactics that I will give you all, okay? And yes, it's a strategy within a strategy. So for me, I love strategy because that is how I actually find applying Chinese metaphysics really work very well. That is, you need to have a strategy. Okay, then we will have group discussions, and group discussions is going to be on Zoom, where we will share experience and we provide support for each other. Okay, and in terms of the timing of discussions, I've not set the time and dates yet because it depends on the participants who sign up, and I'll look for a common slot. So you may ask, what if I miss the monthly sessions? So don't worry, you won't be sidelined. I'll make sure that you are on track, and I'll make separate arrangements with you where necessary. Okay, so in a group coaching program, it is the coach responsibility to keep the group on track, but it is the coach's responsibility to set the pace and keep moving and progressing. So this comes to the next question. So what if I can't catch up with the group pace? So again, I'll say, don't worry, because I'm going to teach you how to define your pace, a pace that suits you, okay, and how to manage your goals and progress. And we are all humans. We are unique in different but yet similar ways. Okay, like I shared earlier, a breakthrough doesn't need to be mega. You need to craft it into the size that suits you, that fits you, to keep you on a momentum and to keep you moving ahead. Okay, so what we're talking here is the momentum. Okay, then next, perhaps some of you may ask, okay, so what else? What else is in this program? What else is in this 12 months coaching? Is it just that monthly strategy and all these things about goal setting and progress tracking and sort of group discussions? I will say, no, you're going to get more. Okay. As a few of you may know that I'll not be running full workshops in 2022, and I'll be focusing on short classes, right? So hence, if you sign up for this program, you will get access to all my exclusive webinars and also short classes. Like right now, I already have 6 topics that I'll be teaching, I'll most probably be teaching, and this has just cooked up in my head, okay, with some framework and agenda of what I want to bring for what I want to teach. So in 2021, it's like I've been teaching the tools. Okay, I've been teaching BaZi tools, I've been teaching Qi tools and so on. But in 2022, the approach will be different because it's going to be a mixture. It's just like leaving your identity. It's not only BaZi. There's also the essence of Qi in it, okay? Because some of my students have been asking me, Nelly, when are you going to teach, like, how do we correlate the BaZi with the Qi destiny and so on? So here you have it. Okay, I'm teaching this in 2022. That is, how do you correlate your BaZi and also your Qi? And how do you find that identity by correlating the two? Okay, that you can build yourself with, right? Then, of course, chasing the stars and so on. So again, it's another student who asked me, so Nelly, are you going to teach us how to chase the stars? Since I did mention in my Writing the Tides webinar that 2022, every month I see promising flying stars that we can really ride on. Okay, unlike this year, 2021, it's like it's not many of the months where we really have very promising energy from the flying star perspective. But 2022, every month, there is at least one sector which is super good. Okay, and this is where we are going to leverage on. Okay, and since this is going to be one of the tactics that I'm going to apply and help you all to go through this 12 months transformation, I might as well share with you all, okay, how I come about using it and how do we utilize it and how do we chase the stars. Okay, because for different objectives in your life or different things that you want to achieve, you want to use different stars. Okay, and it's not one star fit all. Okay, so, and to add on to that, if you join my 12 months coaching program, you get to suggest what topic for me to teach. Okay, you get to tell me what you want to learn, right? And what you want me to teach. And this will add on to the list that I already have. Okay, doesn't that sound great? And at the end of the whole coaching program, it will be in November, and that will also be around the time where I do my 2023 webinar. And this is also included in this coaching program. So, and that will help you to plan ahead for 2023. Okay, so this is the lineup of that 12 months transformation coaching program. It's not just only coaching you how to plan your goals, how to move forward, and it's not only just giving you the dates and so on, but I'll also be guiding you how to set your pace, how to keep your momentum in check, okay, and how to keep going. So there will be certain times where you may feel demotivated. That's where I will come in and I will give you the support and the guidance on how to pick yourself up as well. Okay, and also if you need that spiritual alignment, okay, I would also be guiding you in that path. How do you achieve a higher level, okay, of spirituality within yourself, okay, a higher level of consciousness and self-awareness, okay? All right. So when I was younger, I wanted to change the world. But now, after living so many years already, I do find that changing myself is easier and it's more productive. And I've experienced this myself, okay, for all my years in corporate, from a childhood and so on. I always thought that I could control the external environment. I could make them change, okay? But it's in 2019 where I start to really redirect all the energy within. That's when I find, hey, do you know what? When I start to change internally, the things around me start to change. Okay, my husband is not back yet. So I've actually had a very tense relationship with my husband for a couple of years. We were very, very tense and I couldn't do anything to it. I can't change it. Okay, we were practically in a Cold War. So in a month, maybe we only talk to each other for 1-2 times, and that's because it's in a family gathering. Okay, and we have to talk and we smile as if nothing. So when nobody is around, both of us is like face like black. We don't talk to each other. Okay, and that was how my marital has been in the last few years. So it's until 2019 when I start to change myself. I start to look at, okay, I need to play my role, okay, as a wife, as a mom, and so on. So I go back to the basic needs of what I need to do. I calm myself down. Yeah, I control my temperament and so on. I look at things differently. And guess what? Guess what? Now it's like, I don't need to exert a lot of energy. Okay, the relationship between me and my husband has actually patched up. And it happens just so gradually. I no longer need to tell him it's like what I need him to do and so like that. He will just do it. And he's there. So this is the wonder when you start to change yourself, the things around you, the world around you will change. Okay, so look at yourself, work internally. When you change, everything around you will change. So decide the change that you want, decide the change that you need, redesign your life, and rebuild your confidence, and reclaim your freedom. That's the most important. Reclaim your freedom, reclaim your happiness and your life. Start with a strategy. So there's this saying that goes, a man is not finished when he's defeated. He's finished when he quits. Okay? So this comes to the end of my webinar today. So really, thank you very much for joining me tonight. And 6th November, this Saturday, okay, this coming Saturday is the first Saturday of the month, and this is where I'm having my private chit chat. So you can join in the fun, and you can find the link in my Facebook page. It's in the chit chat event, right? So do call in. It's a private where we talk about any other thing. You can also ask me any questions, okay, whether is it Pato related, Chima related, or anything. Okay, we talk about just whatever. All right. And I would want to end this webinar with a quote. The best way to predict your future is to create it.